Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. ये ठीक है पापा, ऊपर है कृष्णा, हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jayamudiraye, Nastapradeshu Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtati. So we've been going through the prayers by Queen Kunti. It's in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8. And we're up to text number 13. 35. Text 35, chapter 8. Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Shravana smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathami.
Shravana smaranathani.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Karishyan iti keshava.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, verse 35. Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Shravana smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Shravana smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Good job.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Shravana
Smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Karishyaniti kechana.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Avidya kama karma bihi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Shravana smaranarhani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Bhavesmin klishamananam.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Avidya kama karma bhi.
Shravana smaranathani.
Shravana smaranathani.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Karishyan iti kechana.
Bhave
Bhave
in the material creation.
in the material creation.
Asmin.
Asmin.
This. Klishamananam.
Klishamananam.
Of those who are suffering from.
Of those who are suffering from.
Avidya.
Avidya.
Nescience. Kama.
Kama.
Desire. Karma bhi.
Karma bhi.
By execution of fruitive work.
By execution of fruitive work.
Shravana.
Shravana.
Hearing.
Hearing. Smarana.
Remembering. Arhani.
Worshipping. Karishyan.
May perform.
Iti. Thus. Kechana. Others.
Translation. And yet others say that you appeared for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. You can all repeat. And yet others say that you appear for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on. In order that the conditioned soul suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. So Queen Kunti is praying. This is Queen Kunti's prayer. She's offering a prayer to Lord Krishna. So she's just explaining different reasons why Lord Krishna has come in this world. Queen Kunti, of course, is the aunt of Lord Krishna. And at the same time she understands Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. He's the personality of Godhead. And God is unborn. You know, He's the original person. The whole cosmic world, the whole material world, all comes from Him. So how is it that He's here in this world? So Queen Kunti is giving different reasons why Krishna came. And she was saying things like, oh, one reason people say you came was for the pleasure of all the kings, many pious kings like King Yadu and so on, for their pleasure. And another reason was because Lord Brahma had prayed for someone to come, because earth was in a difficult condition. There were many problems on the earth. So they prayed to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma had gone and prayed to Vishnu, and then Vishnu said he would come in the Yadu dynasty. But then another reason was because Vasudeva and Devaki had prayed. Vasudeva and Devaki, they prayed to get the Lord as their child. So these were different reasons why Queen Kunti was saying, maybe you came for this reason, maybe you came for that reason, you know. And here she gives another reason. She says that you came to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing and remembering and worshipping. Because all of us conditioned souls, we're suffering from the material pangs. But if we engage in devotional service, if we do hearing and remembering and worship, then we can be liberated from the material world. So this way Queen Kunti is praying to Lord Krishna. So we'll read Prabhupada's purport, see what Prabhupada has to say. And this verse he said, in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asserts that He appears in every millennium just to re-establish the way of religion. The way of religion is made by the Supreme Lord. No one can manufacture a new path of religion, as is the fashion for certain ambitious persons. The factual way of religion is to accept the Lord as the supreme authority and thus render service unto Him in spontaneous love. A living being cannot help but render service because he is constitutionally made for that purpose. The only function of the living being is to render service to the Lord. The Lord is great, and living beings are subordinate to Him. Therefore, the duty of the living being is just to serve Him only. Unfortunately, the illusioned living beings, out of misunderstanding only, become servants of the senses by material desire. This desire is called avidya or nescience, and out of such desire the living being makes different plans for material enjoyment, centered upon a perverted sex life. He therefore becomes entangled in the chain of birth and death by transmigrating into different bodies on different planets under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Unless therefore one is beyond the boundary of his nescience, one cannot get free from the threefold miseries of material life. That is the law of nature. The Lord, however, out of His causeless mercy, because He is more merciful to the suffering living beings than they can expect, appears before them and renovates the principles of devotional service, comprised of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, cooperating and surrendering unto Him. Adoption of all the above mentioned items, or any one of them, can help a conditioned soul get out of the tangle of nescience and thus become liberated from all material sufferings created by the living being, illusioned by the external energy. This particular type of mercy is bestowed upon the living being by the Lord in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Om Ajnana Timirandasya
Om Ajnana Timirandasya
Jnananjana Shalakaya
Jnananjana Shalakaya
Chakshurmilitam Yena
Chakshurmilitam Yena
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Vancha.
You drink somaras, it gives you punya. Just like when you drink milk. If you drink milk, it's pious. That's good. But if you drink alcohol, then it's just the opposite. You get sinful reactions. You're going to suffer. You get disease. People drink the alcohol and it burns all the organs in their stomach because they drink so much alcohol, it burns all the organs and they live a very short life. So that way people are suffering material world. We have to understand, where do we want to go? You go to heaven, you can live a long time. But you also get old. There is death. So where will we go? We have to. There's another world beyond this world, the spiritual world. And we want to go there, be with Krishna. So we want to go out from this world of birth and death. So this should be our mood. Just like some people, they're very eager, some people want to go to America. They want to go to America. I don't know why, but some people want to go there. And they'll save all their money, they'll work very hard, they're always and then to get the visa you have to apply 1 year before or something, right? 1 year before you have to apply to the embassy.
Yeah, US.
To go to US, they'll give you wait 1 year to get an interview, and then they give you a visa, you can go. But US, people go there, people are shocked to see the poverty sometimes, there's so many beggars, so many poor people, so much crime. It's not so pleasant. Yes, people are thinking very nice, but actually there's so many problems. So where to go? Where there's no problems? We have to go beyond this world. You have to get out from this place of birth and death. You have to go into the kingdom of the spirit world, the spiritual world. If we say, Vaikuntha, no anxiety. This is the Kunta Loka, all anxiety. But the other place is Vaikuntha, no anxiety, no old age, no disease, no death, no unemployment. Right? There's no old age. Everybody's the same age in the spiritual world. When the four Kumaras went to the spiritual world, they saw, wow, everyone is the same age. There's no young, there's no old. Everybody is the same. Because they have spiritual bodies. We have material bodies. So it appears like you're old or you're young, but in the spiritual world that's not there. So there's no anxiety. You don't have to worry about getting old, you don't have to worry about death or anything. It's all eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. So our spiritual nature is like that. And we want to develop that spiritual nature. And the way to do it? By hearing and chanting. That is important. This is how we begin to develop that spiritual body. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna came and he told everyone to surrender. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dhatmam Parigasna. Krishna says, surrender to me. But he never showed us how to do it. So 500 years ago, Krishna came again as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he came again and he's showing us how to surrender. What was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing? Chanting, kirtan. He was doing always Krishna, Varna. That he was always working, serving Krishna, talking about Krishna. So we understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be Krishna himself. And he's come to teach everyone how to be Krishna conscious by engaging in Krishna service. Krishna Varnam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but he's not Krishna, he's not black. Lord Krishna is a very dark color, but Mahaprabhu is a golden color because he's in the mood of Radharani. Radharani is the example of devotional service. She is simply absorbed in thinking of Krishna and serving Krishna. So we also try to follow that mood, the mood of the gopis. And the best of the gopis is Srimati Radharani. So we remember all the activities of these devotees. And in this way we try to cultivate Krishna consciousness. And if we become Krishna conscious, then when we give up this body, we never have to come back again. Bhagavad Gita says, Tarvagyam punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. Right? When you give up the body, you never have to come back again. If we've understood Krishna. So in this way, Queen Kunti is offering her prayer to Lord Krishna. Okay? Any question? We've been having Rath Yatra the last 2 nights. I see you have Jagannath's picture there on the altar. Yes?
But in the Canto 4, Dhruv Maharaj killing Yakshas. Dhruv Maharaj killing Yakshas. And he's killing so many Yakshas without knowing, I don't know, I didn't read it yet. So why he's killing so many Yakshas even though he see the face of the Supreme Personality of God in front of him, face to face?
Yes, well, he was attached to his brother,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He had his brother Uttama, and Uttama had been killed by a yaksha. A yaksha had killed his brother.
Yeah.
So Dhruva Maharaj wanted to get revenge for the death of his brother. So he began to fight with the yakshas. And they were fighting, and it became a war, big war.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So Dhruva Maharaj was fighting and the yakshas were fighting back. And it took finally, Lord Brahma had to come and he had to tell Dhruva Maharaj, this is not good. That you only lost one brother, but you've killed so many yakshas, so you should stop all this violence. So he did. He stopped. He took it. He was you could say he was overwhelmed by family affection. Dhruva Maharaj had some material attachment. Right? He was attached to his brother. And when the brother was killed, he wanted to get revenge for it. Now that thinking, that mentality, that is not good. Just like if they say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Sometimes we think like that. Oh, they did this to me, I'll get back at them, I'll get my revenge on them. So if we do like that, then everybody will be blind. When we say an eye for an eye, they knocked out my eye, I will knock out their eyes. Everybody will be blind. And nobody will have any teeth. So that's not the proper way. Rather, we have to be tolerant. We have to cultivate tolerance. People may die. Dhruva Maharaj's brother died. Yes, it was unfortunate, but still, Dhruva Maharaj reacted very strongly. Yeah. So he got instructions. Yeah. And you can see Parasuram also. Lord Parasuram, he killed the Kshatriyas, 21 generations. Right? He killed all the Kshatriyas 21 times. But after he'd done all the killing, then he had to do atonement. He had to go and atone for it. Although he's the Supreme Lord, he's an incarnation of God. So even though he was killing, because he was killing, he had to go and do tapasya to atone for all the killing which he did. So we should be careful also, we shouldn't try to use violence in the service of Krishna. We have to be careful to control anger, not to be controlled by the anger. You see, Dhruva Maharaj became controlled by his anger. He was so angry, he went to war with all the yakshas and had a great battle. So, if we don't control the senses, then we become the slave of the senses. The mind and the reactions of the mind. You see, the reaction of Dhruva's mind was anger, and he wanted to get revenge. And so he set about killing so many yakshas. So that was not approved, and that's why Lord Brahma, Swayambhuva Man, they came and they told Dhruva Maharaj, you know, you have to stop it. You can't do all this killing. So we shouldn't be this. We shouldn't allow anger to control us.
That's very tough, Guru.
Yes, it's very tough. You have to practice controlling your mind. Where is the anger coming from? The anger is coming from the false ego. They did this to me, I'll get my revenge on them.
Desire, hatred.
Huh?
Desire, hatred.
Hatred.
Desire, hatred.
Yeah, desire and hatred. Yeah, so we get angry, and anger is one of the gates to hell. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said 3 gates to hell. 3 gates to hell, right? You know?
Greed.
Lust, anger, and greed. So anger comes when if we don't get our desire, you know, we want something, we have the lust, we want to get something, we don't get it, we become angry. If you get it, if you get what you want, you become greedy for more. So from lust comes either anger or greed. We have to be very careful how we use anger. If you're the master of the mind and senses, then you can use anger. Like Hanuman. Hanuman could use his anger for the service of Lord Ramachandra in the great battle of Lanka. Hanuman could use his anger. And Arjuna could use his anger in the service of Lord Krishna. But we cannot just use the anger for our own service. That is not good. Don't try to use anger for your service. You will be the servant of the anger. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes what happened. He said, first of all, we become attached to something. And then we want it, we become lusty to get it. And when we don't get it, we become angry. And then when we become angry, then we lose our intelligence. And when you lose your intelligence, then you fall down into the pool of material existence. So have to be very careful how you're affected by anger. Sometimes people get angry, you don't know, they're angry for 3 days. Can't speak to them for 3 days.
More than that. More than that.
More than that also.
Mostly ladies do.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for
Yeah. So it really affects us, anger. Have to be very careful.
And on that stage, Guru Maharaj see the Lord form and he becomes angry because of Uttama. So what about us?
Yes, well, it's a warning to us. We have to be conscious. Don't be degraded. We have to understand everything in the proper manner through the eyes of scripture. Dhruva Maharaj did go on. He went back to Godhead. He went to Badrik Ashram. He stayed in Badrinath. He did tapasya there for some time. Then the Vaikuntha airplane came and took him to Dhruvaloka. So we see the result. Long ago, he became angry, but then he got over that anger. Put aside all that. Yeah, he took the good instruction. So we should also understand this. We shouldn't think, oh, Dhruva Maharaj did like that, but he's so advanced, then I can also do. No. We should understand the lesson Dhruva Maharaj taught. He was a Kshatriya. So he had that Kshatriya nature. That he wants to fight, he wants to get revenge, take action. We have to understand the lesson from it, that it was wrong. What he was doing was not right. It was wrong. So we shouldn't think, oh, he did like that, I can also do it. No. That's not fair. We should understand. He learned what was the proper behavior. So we should take the lesson from it.
If I connect with the same topic when, for example, we're in office, and let's say you're in a managerial position and you have to get the work done, and nobody by nature wants to work. So you have to be on top of them, be angry the way you said. And as devotees we know that I shouldn't, but if it is my duty as a householder, I have to earn money and do it, then even while I'm doing my duty, what consciousness should we carry? I have to anyway tell them that this is wrong and you have to do it, all that. So how do we maintain how do you balance between the two?
Yeah. Well, we have to be, sometimes you have to show a little anger, just to impress upon people what has to be done. But it's not that we have to maintain that anger forever. I say you can use the anger, but don't be controlled by the anger, right? When you're controlled by the anger, then that's the problem. That the anger becomes so powerful that you're not able to properly focus your mind. You lose all your intelligence. So there has to be that control over the mental condition. We make a show of anger, but we don't allow ourselves to be degraded by it. That is the problem. Like Prabhupada would get angry, and then you say, do something about it, right? And leave it behind. So some point, different times, Prabhupada would be angry, but he didn't maintain the anger forever, a few moments, Somebody put salt in the Charanamrita. Charanamrita is supposed to be very sweet, like nectar. Every morning Prabhupada would come and see the deities, and then he would take Charanamrita. And so one morning he would give him the Charanamrita and put salt in the Charanamrita. Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, who's done this? Some young woman had done it, Prabhupada just turned to the manager and said, get somebody intelligent to do this in the future. Like that, So he'd be angry, but he wouldn't keep the angry mood for long. We have to have that detachment from things, Sometimes, the children get angry, you misbehave, you get a little angry at them. But, you can't keep the anger for long. You can't be like that. You can't become degraded by it. We have to control the emotion. That is the point. So we can use anger. You can use the anger if you're the master of your senses. But if you're not the master of your senses, then don't try to use the anger. Because then you get angry and you start hitting the children, and then the children will grow up and hate you.
Guruma, she's saying repeat it to my mama. She's saying repeat to my mama.
Maharaj, you were saying about different incarnations of God. So, we are praying to Narsimha, Lord Narsimha Dev regularly. So, why is there no arati for, let's say, the Lord Rama? Or why especially Narsimha Dev compared to other incarnations?
Well, what happened was actually at one point Prabhupada was very ill, and so the devotees asked Prabhupada about, is there some prayer we can do for you or something we want to pray for you for your safety? So then Prabhupada said, well, he said, after eating you can sing this prayer to Lord Nrsimhadev. Because Lord Nrsimhadev is known to protect the devotees. Right? Lord Nrsimhadev appeared to protect the lives. So Prabhupada gave us that Nrsimha Stotra, that we could sing that song, Namaste Nrsimha. Just after the Aarti, we sing that song. Not that it's a special puja or anything. Although some places they themselves introduce that. But Prabhupada said you can put a picture of Lord Nrsimhadev on the altar and you can sing the Nrsimha prayer at the end of the Aarti. That will protect the teachers and it will protect the devotees, it will protect the movement. For that purpose, for the protection of the devotees. The worship of Nrsimhadev is quite popular. Different acharyas, they also worship Lord Nrsimhadev. Prabhupada himself, he had given us that we can do that because we come from the protection. But Lord Rama, well, we have Lord Rama in some of the temples these days. Worship of Lord Rama, you have to understand Lord Rama is an incarnation of Krishna as a perfect king. Right? Maryada avatar, the perfect etiquette, the perfect behavior. So he's an incarnation. Lord Krishna, however, is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is a ras, he's full of all the rasas. Lord Rama is king. Queen Kunti was saying that actually the incarnation of Lord Krishna is more merciful than the incarnation of Lord Rama. Because Lord Rama is the king, he's the prince, it's so very difficult to approach him. Because he's always on the throne, not so intimate. But Lord Krishna comes as a counterpart. So it's much more intimate, approachable and lovable. Lord Rama is majestic, very solemn and with the going, and it's very filled with awe and veneration. You come before Lord Rama. It's all Aishwarya and a lot of veneration, respect and everything. But Krishna, with Lord Krishna, is much more free and intimate and loving. So Lord Krishna is actually, he's the reservoir of all different relationships with the devotees. Whereas Lord Rama is very limited of human relationships. But we do have temples of Lord Rama, like in Mumbai, Juhu, and also in London, Washington DC also.
Delhi also has, many of our temples have Sitaram, Lakshmana, Hanuman.
Yeah. But when we say this is Krishna playing the part of the perfect king, perfect ruler. And when we chant the Mahamantra, Lord Rama's name is also there, you know. So they are, it's a Buddhist, when we chant Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, there were two devotees were arguing. One devotee said this means Balaram, and another devotee said Lord Ramachandra. So they went to Prabhupada and they asked Prabhupada who's right, and Prabhupada said they both right. It says Rama could be Ramachandra and it should be Balaram. And later on, we found out also, Jiva Goswami said it should be also Krishna. That Rama is also another name of Krishna. So it's up to every individual how they worship. That when they're chanting, who are they addressing? Balarama, or Lord Ramachandra, or Lord So we chant the name of Lord Ram. And we worship, of course, we do Ram Navami. It's a festival, an important festival. Ram Navami, the feast day of Lord Ram. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave more importance to the worship of Krishna. We are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Rama is one of the avatars. But Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan, he's avatari. He's the source of all the avatars. All the avatars, they come from him. So Lord Rama is one form of Lord Krishna. Come from him. We worship the Supreme. Lord Rama is also God, but he's one of the, he's just a part of the aspect of God, not the full aspect of the God. Because he's showing the Dashara, another big serpent, the serpent. But with Krishna, all the dasas, Duryara, Vatsavyara, Satyara. Hanuman is always kneeling at Lord Rama's feet, waiting to serve him. But Krishna's friends, they're quite nice back. Mother Yashoda's tying him up. It's a whole different. It's more intimate. So we want to experience that intimacy with Krishna. That's why we worship Krishna more. You can read about Lord Rama, it's also there in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 9th chapter. Some chapter about Lord Rama. But Srimad Bhagavatam is more on Krishna, because Krishna is the source of all the avatars. It said in Ete Chamsakala Pumsa Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. There are many incarnations of God, like Rama, Narasimha, but it's Krishna who is the original supreme. He's the source of all the avatars.
can ask you any other question, any other